Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about why Jeremy Peña this season for the Houston Astros is going to have a breakout season for this Houston Astros squad. Peña so far for the Astros in spring training has absolutely killed it. He's been killer for this Astros team and has probably been the best player for the Astros in spring. Maybe that's Cam Smith. I know Peña has the best batting average out of players that have played a good amount of baseball so far in spring. I think I would say Cam Smith has been better because, Cam Smith is this guy that's playing in his first ever spring training. This is his first season ever playing in spring training, while Jeremy Peña is a guy going into his, third MLB season. So, fourth MLB season now, right? I want to say, yeah. Four, that's crazy to say. Peña going into his fourth MLB season. But I really do believe from what we've seen so far from him that he is showing that he is going to take on a bigger role this season for this Houston Astros team after losing Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman. This spring so far, he has killed it, and we're going to go over what he's done this spring. So this spring, in 11 games played, he's had 31 at-bats, he scored 5 runs, 13 hits, and he also has 1 double, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 1 stolen base, batting .419. Here's another big thing I think with Jeremy Peña. Last year, a huge problem was, and you look at him last year, it wasn't that bad of a season for him offensively. I mean, in his 157 games, he had 15 home runs, 70 RBIs, batting average was .266. All those numbers were up compared to his second season. His home runs were up by 5, his RBIs were up by 18, and his batting average was up not by much, went from .263 to .266, but his numbers were up, and that was a key thing for him. But the problem is what got really worse for him was swinging, just having some terrible strikeouts. Swinging at pitches that were way out of the strike zone, easy balls that sometimes, baseballs that were in the dirt, Jeremy was swinging at. It was bad. And that's something he's worked on this spring that I think is key. For instance, Jeremy Peña last year, in the at-bats, he would not reach base. So when he would be retired and would not reach base, 26% of Jeremy Peña's outs last season were strikeouts. That's not good. He had a 26% strikeout rate on the at bats that he did not reach base or did not get a hit. This spring so far, he has 13 hits, he has 31 at bats, so which means there's 18 so far there's been 18 at bats for him where he has not gotten a hit, and only 3 of those are strikeouts. Only 3 strikeouts and 31 at bats. If you do that, he's only striking out in 15% of the time he's being retired. And look, I know it's spring training, and that's you're comparing his 31 at bats in spring training to the 602 at bats he had last season. That's it's a long, as the season goes on, maybe that number goes up a little bit, but those numbers are down, at least right now. And not only are they down right now, but he's looked better with not swinging at terrible pitches, at least so far in spring, and I hope that can carry over to the regular season. But I mean, yeah. And another thing I really look forward to this season with Jeremy Peña is you've seen how killer he's been when he is put at the 2 spot. I don't know why the Astros don't do it more, because he kills it when you put Altuve at 1 and Peña at 2. Now, with Kyle Tucker in this lineup last year, you didn't see the Astros do that a lot. I'd like to see that more this year. I really would. I don't want to see Yordan Alvarez at the 2 spot. I don't know what the point is of putting Yordan Alvarez at the 2 spot. I really don't, because the Astros' bottom of the order is one of the worst bottom of the orders in baseball. And yes, you got Altuve at 1, but Yordan Alvarez is your best home run hitter on the team. I know Christian Walker is going to bring him some competition this year, and maybe Isak might as well. But Yordan, with Tucker gone, and I know Jose Altuve can hit some dingers, but Yordan is the best home run hitter on the team, best power hitter on the team. You don't want that. You don't want that guy to be number 2 in the lineup. You don't want a number. You don't want a guy like Yordan who has so much power and home run ability to be batting 2, where he's going to see less opportunities with runners in scoring position. When you're in the bottom of order, you might have Chas and Jake Myers at 8 and 9. There's more opportunities for Yordan Alvarez to have multiple runners on base if the lineup potentially looks like Jose Altuve at 1, Peña at 2, maybe Christian Walker's at 3 or Isak's at 3, and then Yordan's at 4. The way I'd like to see this lineup go is where you see it. Maybe it's Altuve 1, Peña 2, Isak 3, Yordan's then at the cleanup. That gives Yordan more opportunities to bat with runners in scoring position. And that makes this Astros team a more dangerous team because that gives Yordan more RBI opportunities. That's something you want. Yordan's going to have way more opportunities if he's at the 4 spot and batting after Altuve, Jeremy, and Isak than if he's at the 2 spot and batting over Jake Myers, Chas McCormick, and Jose Altuve. So that's why Yordan, I think, needs to be at the cleanup this year instead of being at the 2 or 3 spot. And then you look at the rest of the lineup at 5 and 6. Then you got Walker and Diaz at 5 and 6. And then who knows what 7, 8, 9 looks like. I'm sure, that's not great part of the lineup. I'm sure 7's Dubon, maybe 8's Chas, and 9's Jake Myers, or you got other guys in the lineup, maybe Zach DeZenzo, Cam Smith, who knows. But the top 6, I think, looks good, and the way I like to see it is Peña at 2. And the reason I'd like to see Peña at 2 is mainly because getting Yordan more RBI opportunities if he's at the cleanup and not the 2 or 3 spot. And so that's another thing I'd look forward to this season with Peña is him maybe getting more opportunities at the 2 spot now that Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker are both gone. And I think in the past he's done this spring in his opportunities he's had batting after Jose Altuve, he's done a good job. And in the past he's done a good job when batting after Jose Altuve. I think that's the best spot for him. Maybe, I don't know if it's the best spot for this team, but for him, I believe it's the best spot. It's something I really enjoyed when they did in his rookie year, and I hope it's something they, continue to do this year. We'll see, when Joe Espada might, potentially examine or, explore Peña at the 2 spot. I know he's done in spring, but I don't think he's done it with both Yordan, when Yordan's been lined. When Jeremy's batted at the 2 spot, it's because Yordan is not playing. But I think it's going to be a big year for him. We're going to see the best season so far for Jeremy Peña if he can work on, and he's been better at it this spring, not swinging at terrible pitches. We know this guy's going to be amazing defensively for this Astros team. I think that's something I'm really excited for with him. So I can't wait to see that. But I do know that it's going to be I think it's going to be a much better year at the plate for him just because him potentially working on swinging at terrible pitches that could easily be easy balls to the for him and the Astros, and maybe something we could see for him is more walks because with he had less walks last season with how much he was swinging at terrible pitches. He only had 25 walks last year. He had 43 in his rookie season, had 22 in his first season. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to go ahead and predict he has a career high in walks this year, but I definitely think JP can potentially go over 25 walks this year. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros. Let me know your thoughts on Jeremy Peña potentially having a breakout season for this Astros team, and what are your predictions for him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.